stressless. Calm down by taking 3 deep breaths. This is one that we sort of went over before, but I gotta say that those physical suggestions about controlling your breath, closing your eyes, straightening your spine, and just breathing. That shit just never works for me because in the heat of the moment, I'm never thinking about this. What I'm thinking about is, first of all, the fact that I got upset in the first place. What was the trigger of it? Why is it that it's taking so long to go back to being civil? The only times I get legit upset is when my agitation is, in a sense, instigated. Let's say that you're talking to someone and you're trying to get a word in, especially because it's an important topic, a topic that doesn't come by often, and it's one of those really healthy, mature ones. You ever meet somebody who gets very easily offended and you wonder, how are you an adult and I cannot have this conversation with you? That's pretty much what gets me upset and frustrated. Those are my favorite kinds of topics. Topics about maturity, responsibility, bills, development, criticizing myself, criticizing you, those things. I thrive in those topics. But I have met people who are offended by those topics, and I never understood why. Outside of those, the only other times I have gotten upset, it's been at work, and it's when I see inaction. Because for some reason, management loves to wait for the disaster to happen so that they can evidence that the disaster happened, as opposed to being proactive and making decisions that will avoid the disaster from happening in the first place. I hate having to clean up disasters, and disasters can mean anything from social issues to actual physical issues like organizational issues, or something falling over and causing a spill, a literal mess, things like that. I'm that kind of person who's like avoiding those things. Imagine if we thought about it that way for everything. Let's say, let's blow things up mindlessly. Let's spill things into the environment mindlessly. You're telling me that you want to do those things that are damaging because, as opposed to avoiding those damaging things from coming into contact with other things, you would rather let the mess happen so that you can actually document the mess happening, so that then you can document how you cleaned that up. How about if you avoid the mess from the start? Because there are some messes that we create that we realize we don't have the solution to. Those kinds of things. To sit there and be guided into taking deep breaths. No, I don't do that. I'm not thinking about that. When it comes to breathing, I'm conscious of my breathing whenever I'm practicing my vocal technique. I realize that I have like an alto range and my voice can be softer on average. If I were to try to get with people who are like high pitched and they have like that squealing sound to their voice, like, I can't compete with that. I'm gonna mess up my throat. I've done it before. I have tried to yell, to scream at somebody, and I just couldn't fucking do it because I was straining my vocal cords. And ultimately, I had to stop that shit. I cannot use my natural voice and try to yell with that voice. I would have to transition onto a different register. But on the heat of the moment, I'm not thinking about that. And that's why I just absolutely hate yelling. Because when I start opening up this mouth, I start injuring myself. And that's why I'm at the point where if I cannot sustain a calm conversation with you, I ask you to leave. If you're in my territory, like if you're in my space, in my car, in my home, wherever it is, I ask you to leave. If we are somewhere that I don't own, somewhere that's not my domain, that I don't have power over, I'm the one who leaves. And leave it at that. I'm done. Well, there you guys have it. That's it from me on this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.